what, a little after 9 o'clock, but that's okay because you guys are all in your house, right? You're not like on the streets, you're all in your house. So I apologize for starting late tonight. This is not something that we normally do, but guess what? We got families to help, and this was an NYPD and a nurse, and they made sure that, I had to do everything for them, and they just kept adding more stuff and asking more questions, and I did not want to be rude, and you know what? It's money in the bag, right? It's money in the bag, so you gotta finish it up, right? Because if not, you guys will notice in this business, when people are ready, you better be ready. Otherwise, when it comes to finance, you're chasing and you're running after people, but when they're ready, you gotta be ready too, right? So thank you guys so much for hanging out here. So let's go over a couple of you. What did you get? What stood out to you from that video that I just played? By the way, that was a clip from Pastor Changing at our convention that just ended, Monday or Sunday or whatever day it was last week. And every year we go to convention. It's in Vegas, and we have about 30 to 40 something thousands, okay? Thousands of people. This is the first year that we actually contracted and filled two arenas. We were in the MGM Grand, and we also were at T-Mobile. So we packed it out, right? We packed it out. So that was a clip from one of the guest speakers, or one of the speakers at the convention. So what stood out to you? What stood out to you in listening to that message, guys? Unmute your mic and just tell me what stood out to you.
If you believe, all things are possible.
Yeah, if you believe. Anyone else? Nothing stood out to you? Okay.
Everyone can be a winner.
Everyone can be a winner, yeah. Okay. One of the things that stood out to me is God will send strangers, right? God will send strangers. God is going to put, for some of you, we were strangers before we came into WFG. I didn't know a lot of you. You guys were strangers to me. You didn't know me. I was strangers to you, right? But this opportunity, WFG brought us together, right? So I will start sharing my screen, and we're going to get into tonight's presentation. Oh, before I forget, right, let me pull up this again for those of you that are here. This is just a quick reminder, and if this is the first time that you're here, then again, this is good information for you. We meet all of this week, and next week we're going to be meeting, right? And it's different times. So today's Tuesday, we started late at 9. And tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday, we start at, let's do this. Wednesday and Thursday, we start at 7:30 Eastern, right? Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern. Now, we just added Sunday as well, and Sunday is going to be 8 p.m. So you're going to be done with church, you're going to be done with running around wherever, done with the park, whatever you're doing, and you're going to be back home on Sunday night to log in and listen how you can change your family and your entire trajectory. Guys, and this business is such a blessing. Let me just have a testimony right now. The family that I just helped, right? The family that I just helped that had me go over, because the whole time I'm talking to them, like they're looking at the time. The family that I just helped, the strategies that we put in place. This is somebody that's in the financial service. This is somebody who, the thing she did for herself, with her license, she did that term, I'm gonna also let them know, hey, you don't want to stay, and just let this be your end all be all. Because 30 years roll around and you're still alive, now you're gonna call me, and if I'm not alive, you're gonna call somebody else, right? So because of what she's done for herself, I made sure I told her, let's do the right thing. Let's do the right thing and go back to those families and say, hey, I know I give you a term and it was good for that time, but I want you to also now consider getting a whole life policy while you're still young and while you're still healthy, and send them my way. And she said, okay with that, huh? And I also try to bring her back into the business, right? I also try to bring her back, but she's got a lot going on. She's doing phenomenal. And I say this to say, be encouraged. Be encouraged and help people. And even the ones that are, oh, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. When they're ready, they're going to call you, because she called me now that she's ready, right? So we do amazing things for people, and because our platform has access to a lot of different companies or a lot of different options, strategies, we can help them. But when this particular person was at her particular company, she did not have the knowledge or the education or the products, the strategies, the account to even talk to people about. So she just gave them what she had available, right? But when you're working with someone in World Financial Group, rest assured that we have options for people, right? We have multiple options. So I'm not going to just pigeonhole you in one thing because that's all I have, right? So, sidetrack. But anyway, who are we? Our company is called Aegon. We've been around for almost 200 years. Aegon is one of the top financial company in the world, okay? For those of you that are agents, you want to be taking good notes, because in a couple of weeks, you're going to be up here doing these presentations, right? So Aegon has been around for almost 200 years. They are one of the largest pension and life insurance company in the world, right? One of the largest pension and insurance company in the world. It's a super big deal. And like with every major company, because they're based in the Netherlands, right? That's our grandpa. That's the big money guys, right? The big money guys say, we got to get into the U.S. economy. We got to get into the U.S. market. And so Transamerica was birthed. Transamerica is our parent company here in the U.S. They are based in San Francisco, right? And Transamerica in San Francisco has been around for 119 years, right? So when somebody said, oh, Dada, are these people going to run away with my money? Like, honey, boo-boo, your little $200, $300, $400, $500, or your little $10,000, $20,000? Listen, our grandpa, Aegon, the big money guy, female, girl. Do whatever you need to do to connect with your audience, right? And what are some of our core values? Well, first and foremost, we believe in faith, and this is why I love this business. It's based on faith principle. When our founder, Rich Tolley, created this business, did he know that Mickey was going to come into this business? Did he know that William was going to come into this business? Did he know that Deborah would be on a Zoom listening to this information? No. No, he did not. But he got this business based on faith principle. You know, we just came back from convention, and one of the things he said is, I knew you were coming. I knew you guys were coming. People that were not even born yet, he knew that was going to come into this business. I wasn't born yet when Rich Tolley created this company. I wasn't born. He created it for us. Some of you that are on this webinar tonight that are business owners in WFG, there's people that are not even born yet will come into your business. Johnny was not born when Rich Tolley created his business. Cash was not born when Rich Tolley created his business. And he literally told us, Odetta, the business you're working so hard for today, people that are not even born are going to come into your business. You're planting the seeds today that's going to bless generations to come. I love this business. It's not a business where you're selfish. It's a business where you're selfless. You're always giving and giving. We have a giving principle. And on top of it, we believe in family. You know? I mean, I've never really had a job where I could tell them, hey, I want to hire my sister, my cousin, my auntie, and they would really agree to it. You know? Like, corporate America doesn't promote that. They don't want your family to be working where you work. You don't even want to introduce people to come work where you work. WFG is the opposite. We want your uncle, your cousin, your friend, your sister, your brother, your nieces, your nephew, your grandbabies. I love this business. Sarah, corporate exec for Chick-fil-A. She's been in WFG almost 20 years. 2 weeks ago, look at this. Her grandbaby just turned 18 and got coded. What do I mean by coded? She got signed up to do the business and she passed her license for her 18th birthday. Did Sarah know this when she started 20 years ago? No. So this business is such an amazing, life-changing business. It's not about me alone. It's about people that I don't even know are going to come into my business. Maybe my niece's kids down the road might come into this business. We just saw it with Sarah's granddaughter, right? So some of you may have kids, and your kids may come into this business, or guess what? Their kids, which is your grandkids, are going to come into this business. We see it all the time. And in WFG, as soon as your kids turn 18, especially the big guys, Ed Milet and all these big guys, the minute their kids turn 18, it's not a matter of if you're going to do it, it's, honey, sign here, you're coming on board. These kids don't know nothing. All they know, they got money coming to them because their parents are who their parents are. Their parents position them, line them up, because they know at some point when we die, the checks are not going to die. The checks will continue coming. So we want your family to be in this business. And then we have ownership, right? So, do you own your job? Do we own our job? No, we don't own a job. Here in WFG, once you're a senior marketing director and above, you own your business that you can pass down to generations, right? And then you can dream here. So many of us, when we have a job, we're just going through the motion, get a paycheck, Monday to Friday, hang out, go out, maybe take 1 or 2 trips a year. We stop dreaming. Here in WFG, we encourage you to dream, and not only dream, but dream big. You know, like it's insane that I'm freaking a millionaire. Like, where would I even do that being where I was? It's insane that I could do things sustain how big you want to dream. But if you work in a GOB, your boss is never going to tell you, hey, you could one day be a multimillionaire. Like with what? With your $40, $50 an hour paycheck? No, right? And then we believe in integrity, doing it right, right? Leadership, tons of leadership. This is why this business is personal development on steroids. We get exposed to higher level of leadership for free, because we're in this business. If you wanted to go to Ed Mylett conference, or if you wanted to go to what's the founder of leadership, what's the guy, John Maxwell, like these guys are part of WFG. These guys speak at our leadership. These guys, Magic Johnson, all these guys, they speak at our convention. Damon, John, or whatever, Damon Dash, whatever, like all of these, like it's insane the level of leadership that we have access to. Like people that are multi-billionaires. At this point, it's not even about them making money. Like Rich Colley tells us, it's not about me making money anymore. I'm already set 21 generations. I want you guys to experience what I've experienced. So the leadership at that level, it's not about them making money. They have more money that they can spend. They're going to die and leave 21 generations deep of money. They're like Rockefellers. So the leadership that we get exposed to, I will never, ever, 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 ever quit WMG. Because where else am I going to be exposed to this type of knowledge, with this type of conversation? Nowhere. Not even on campus. They'll laugh at us, right? And then teamwork. In order for me to move up, I got to pull people up. At your JOB, ain't nobody helping you. If you in real estate, that is a cutthroat. If you in sales, that is a cutthroat. Nobody's going to help you. WFG is built on teamwork. When my team win, I win. So I want them to win. I want them to get licensed. I want them to help families. I want them to make money. I want them to move up. I want them to be promoted to marketing director and senior marketing manager, because guess what? We rise together, right? So the teamwork is unmatched. You'll never find this level of teamwork at your GOP. And then talk about recognition. Tons of recognition. You get your license, we recognize you. You get a business partner, we recognize you. You finish your 330 associate promotion, we recognize you. You get your first check, we recognize you, right? You hit another milestone, marketing director, we recognize you. And then the ultimate recognition is also trips, right? We're getting ready to go to DR in a couple of weeks, right? There's trips also that you get recognized for. But you're not going to get recognized if you don't do the work, if you're not helping families. And I'm super passionate about this business, and I love everything that WFG stands for. So that's who we are. That's who we are, right? And what do? You're like, okay, Dada, I get it. It's a great company to be with. But what do y'all really do? Well, we help people with their money. Plain and simple. You're either going to make money or you're going to save and grow your money. We're going to show you how to make more money or how to save and grow your money. That's it. Two options. Do you want to make money or do you want to save and grow your money? Right? So people that are uncertain about their money, I know that's one of the things I asked the girl. I said, you've made some really good decisions with your finance. Because, we went over everything, and I said, did anybody ever, sit with you, or, did you had a mentor, did you had a coach? Because you did some really good things with your mind, with your finance. Some people just have a knack. Some people are just great with money. She said, Odetta, I just love saving money. I always knew. I grew up in a household where my dad owned a house, so it made sense for me to own a house. I grew up in a household where we had money conversation, where, we save. She did really well, right? But even the people, and you guys are going to get people say, oh, you know what, I'm good. Good is good, but there's always better, right? So everybody thinks they're good, but they don't know there's better. And if there's better, there's also best, right? So you might be good. You may have the property, you may have some money in the bank, you may have some money in investment, but there's always opportunity for better, right? So this individual am I still talking to her about taxes. Here am I still talking to her about, hey, your term is going to end in 7 years and you're still in your 50s, right? So we're good, but there's always better. So when somebody tell you I'm good, don't be offense. You know, there's better. There's better. Even me, I'm good, but there's better, right? And this is why I do this business, to keep learning so I could better my finance and I could teach it. So 68% of Americans say they are not on track to retire. Guys, you don't have to listen to me, just Google it. Google it, it's all over. Because they don't understand how money works. Here's an article, and I'm going to look for that article for tomorrow, and I'm going to share it in the chat. Or I think somebody shared it last night. I should have saved it. As we speak, senior citizens, the ones, there's an article, and I'm going to get the statistics on it. But it is so bad that some senior citizens, the ones that own their house, mortgage free, even though it's mortgage free, they're still financially strapped. They're still financially strapped. That at this point they're renting out rooms in their house to other seniors like themselves, maybe the ones that never purchased a house and is living in a rental apartment and the rents are going up, but they're on a fixed income. So it's like they're helping each other out. The ones that got the house and it's paid off, they need the money, so they're going to take in their senior citizen whoever, and then the one who is living in an apartment and can't afford because the rent keep rising, they come in. So in a way it's good, but in a way it's not good. You know what I mean? Like you're bringing strangers into your house in your 70s, 80s, and whatever age. So what we know for sure, Americans are not saving enough. There's a problem with people saving money. And the second problem, besides not saving enough, is where are they saving the money? They're saving the money in tax-deferred accounts. And tax-deferred accounts are variable. So the market is going up and down, and they're making money, they're losing money, making money, losing money. On top of it, whatever they're left with at the end of 30 years after doing the up and down roller coaster, now they have to pay huge amounts of taxes that nobody really taught them about or educated them on. Hey, you know you're going to have to pay a lot of taxes in this money. So we have a retirement crisis. Thank you, Donna. You know what? I'm going to click on that before I forget and just save it. Yes. Thank you for doing that. Okay. So the next thing we see happening is 60% of Americans are diagnosed with an illness. And the leading cause is financial stress. Now, WFG has a lot of doctors, a lot of medical doctors. The one at the top is Dr. Fumble and his wife, Linda Fumble. And let me tell you, if you ever get on a webinar with him, he is not talking anything about cash value. He's not talking anything about taxes. His presentations are all medical stats. He's going to look you dead in the eye and tell you one of us are going to be diagnosed with a critical and a chronic. How are you going to pay the bills? How are you going to get the best care? How are you going to pay the mortgage? How are you going to buy the medication? His presentation are completely medical related because he got the stats to back it up, and he's a doctor. So if we know we're going to get sick, we don't want to get sick, but this is where insurance comes in, right? You don't plan on getting into a car accident, but you're going to get car insurance. You don't plan on having your trip canceled, but it may cancel. We don't plan for these things. This is a huge void that's missing in almost everybody's personal financial house. Nobody's thinking about sickness, and if they are, they think their health insurance is going to do the trick. money in your pocket. Your health insurance pay to go see the doctor. Your health insurance may pay for some of the medication, right? So if we're gonna get sick, don't you want to put things in place? And so what? If you don't get sick, it's okay. It's okay, right? But let's talk about old age. Let's talk about when you're 90. Let's talk about when you're 100. Because we just came back from our convention, and I think it's the Lab Age Research, Dr. Oh my God, I can't remember his name. They have this whole study. Transamerica paid this company like this whole study on longevity. People are going to live longer, and it's a good thing that most of us will live to age 100. It's a wonderful thing. But do we have enough money to carry us to age 100? Do we have long-term care? Do we have living benefits? So when the aches and pains and the joints start seizing up, or we're taking all these, because doctors love to give you medication. You go for one thing and they're going to give you like 3 medications. So what are we doing about that? Guys, I went to the doctor today for my allergy. The man prescribed me 5 stuff. I came home with 5 stuff for allergies. I'm like, and my client that I was just talking to, she's on like 7 medications. Doctors love to prescribe. You go for one thing, they're always going to prescribe you something. So 60% of people are going to get diagnosed with an illness. 6 out of 10. That's scary. So for me, if I don't do anything else with WFG, my personal finance is set. My long-term care is set. But I'm not going to be selfish, because this business is a selfless business. It's a faith business. We're not selfish over here. So when we sit with families and we teach them and we educate them, because they're not going to think about this on their own. Nobody's going to put these plans on their own, right? Wealthy people, they're not thinking that they're going to get sick and may have to like liquidate their assets. So even them, when we sit with them and we show them strategies, and it's tax-free, because they're already making a lot of money, and they hear the word tax-free, sign me up with that. And what do I need? What do I need? Let's go. Wealthy people understand tax-free, because they have a lot of money and they don't want to give it up. They don't want to give it up, right? And then you have 64% of Americans living paycheck to paycheck. Guys, we know this. We know this. We've had so many meltdown and like government shutdown, and like within 1 month, people are like scrambling out here because we don't have multiple source of income, or we're not making enough, and things are expensive. I get it. Like, I don't have any kids, and I went to the grocery store, I spent like $120, and I'm like, I still don't even know what I bought, right? And do you guys think that things are going to get cheaper or more expensive as we live? That in itself is the answer of why we need to make more money, because nothing is going to get cheaper, right? Nothing is going to get cheaper. It's going to continue to increase. So if everything is going to go up, your money got to go up, because you're going to be spending more, right? 64%, that's more than half living paycheck to paycheck. And then we have 84% of us who want to work somewhere where it matters. Guys, I love. I was born for this business, right? It's not only a good business that's making money, but the work that I'm doing here matters. The work that I'm doing here, these kids that I'm setting up with multi-million dollars account, with $1 million account. I just showed my client. She was saving in a 529 for her daughters. And she said, Odetta, I did good. And I said, that's great, but it's a 529, right? You could have done better. You could have done better. It's good, but you could have done better. And you know what? I didn't even have to tell her this. question was, did you take all the money out for college, or you ended up using some money for non-college? And she was very happy to tell me, oh yeah, I took some money out to buy my second property. And I said, wow, that's great. I said, well, let me ask you, did you get a penalty because you took money from the 529 to buy a property, which is good. It's very good. But did you get any penalty because you took the money out for a non-educational purpose? And she said, yeah, girl, oh my God, they penalized me. I was like, you see, there's better. If you had listened to me 4 years ago and you had saved that money in an IUL, Index Universal Life, you could have taken that money out tax-free, no penalty, right? So guys, everybody is good. But where we sit with you and when we educate you, we're going to show you better strategies, right? You're doing good, but there's better options. Let me show you another way. Because the wealthy people know about those other ways. Make no mistake, right? So, you want to work somewhere where work matters. 84% of people are just going through the motion. They're just going to a job because they got to pay the bill. It is what it is. But they're really not happy about what they're doing. They're not passionate. They're just doing it to pay the bills. And that's okay, right? So here you can become an entrepreneur where you are in control of your freedom and your time and your lifestyle and purpose. Guys, I should not be saying this, but I don't wake up early. When I was in corporate America and I had to go to work for 8 o'clock and have sales meeting at 9, I would always pray to God that I would have a business where I could wake up whenever I want to wake up and make more money. He blessed me. He blessed me. And the blessing that I got, I want to make sure that other people get that same opportunity. Time is priceless. Your freedom is priceless, right? And you get to create a lifestyle and have a life of purpose. So our mission is to financially educate everybody. Whether you got $5 or you got 20 billion, gazillion, whatever amount, right? No families left behind. Our vision is to empower people to be an entrepreneur. You gotta be an entrepreneur. Listen, I don't care if you're just gonna sell some wigs, sell some lip gloss, sell something. You have to put yourself in position to be an entrepreneur because that's where you have the tax. This business, this company, this world, this country get the most tax break when you're a business owner. There's nothing you can write off if you have a JOB. Nothing. But guys, I just came back from convention. My hotel is a tax write-off. My air is a tax write-off. My food is a tax write-off. My entertainment is a tax write-off. The Uber going back and forth is a tax write-off. If I had a JOB and I had just gone to the conference on my own, there's nothing I could write off. Nothing, right? So, you have to be a business owner. Now, Robert Kiyosaki, if some of you have heard, he created what's known as the cash flow, the quadrant cash flow. Now, most of us are going to fill into one of these boxes. If you have a JOB, you're an employee, meaning you're trading your time. Yes, Matthew, rich dad for that. Yes, he is. Rich dad for that. If you're an employee, you're trading your time for your dollars. Guys, you're at the bottom of the pole. You're at the bottom of the food chain. Because guess what? If you get sick and you max out your sick days and you max out your vacation days, you ain't got no more money. I've seen people got diagnosed with cancer. I've seen people got diagnosed with certain illness. And once they max out their sickness and vacation days, they have no more money coming in. And what about when you get sick? What if you don't feel like working? You don't go to work, you don't get paid. You max out your vacation time, you max out your sick day, you max out your pay, whatever. That's it. It's done. You're trading your time for money. If you don't put time in, you don't get money. Most jobs are only given 2 weeks vacation per year. And and maybe 5 or 6 days. I don't know. I stopped working like 8 years ago. I don't know anymore, right? And if you're self-employed, that really just means now you own the job, but you still got to put in the hours, right? I know so many self-employed people, barbershop, nail salon, I don't know, like certain jobs where, yeah, it's a business, the beauty supply store, um, it's a business, but you own the job. You show up, you service clients, you open the door, you sell products, and we live in New York. So guess what? When it's a snowstorm and everything is gridlocked and locked down, you can't even open your store because ain't nobody gonna come to your store. So here you're self-employed, like the barbershop guys and the nail salon guys and the beauty supply girls and the hair salon girls. Well, guess what? When you got a snowstorm, even if you open your shop, ain't nobody coming to get their hair done in the dead winter of snow, right? And if you don't feel like going to the nail salon, you ain't making no money. Now you may have, staff, but it's the same thing. If they don't work, they don't get paid. So that's self-employed. You want to be on the right side. You want to be on the right side. The right side, you win in the money game. Because the right side, now you're a business owner. But not just any business owner. You're a smart business owner. You're a business owner with a system that the more people you work with, the more money you make. The more agents I bring on board, the more agents that gets licensed, the more agents, the more franchise that I open all throughout the US and Canada, the more money we make. So I want to have licensed agents all over the US and Canada. I just came back from convention. I had 4 of my ladies from Canada that flew into the convention. They're running their business. I have to go to Canada and do a presentation with them because I'm building a team in Canada. Guess what? This is not just a regular business. Think of every licensed agent. Every licensed agent that you bring into your organization is a franchise. Is a financial franchise. So if you have 5 licensed agents, think of those like a McDonald's franchise. Or think of those like real estate doors, right? So the more licensed agents you have, the bigger your organization, the more money we make. Genius system, right? So for me, this is why I want to onboard new people. I want to have new licensed agents. I want to give people the same opportunity to come and change their life, make more money whenever they can, and free. And then, because of the knowledge that you learn here, the exposure, the leadership, the training, now you know what to do with your money. Guys, I could be on Zoom all day back to back, learning from Pack Life, Nationwide, Prudential, Crump, like back to back. I could be on Zoom just like learning all day. Because there's like, guys, we have 77 companies. I don't even use a fraction of it. There's so much to learn, right? So, great business model. If you're an employee, that's okay. We all got to work. But you don't want to stay an employee. You want to move to the right side. You want to become a business owner. You want to become an investor. If you're self-employed, that's okay. But guess what? You want to have a business with system that whether you show up or not, whether you put in the time or not, you're making money because you have a system, right? So let's talk about some FAQs because we hear it all the time. We know what people are going to say. Well, Odetta, this business sounds good, but how much is it going to cost? Well, it's not going to cost as much as you think. $125 when I started 7 years ago was $100, right? It's 100. Well, everything goes up, right? Inflation went up, everything went up. Today it's 125. That's why you want to sign up quick. You want to sign up quick because we don't know what the price is going to be 2 years from now or even next year. It's 125 to register your business and do your initial background. And I say initial because for the people who like to say, well, is this a scheme? his business because he had some stuff on his background, and it took him 6 months. He had to go fix that stuff, clean it up, go to court, get it expunged, get whatever. But he wanted to do the business that bad. 6 months it took him to get on board. He passed his license, but WFG said no. Your background check is not clear. The company said no. We can't have you out there doing stuff on our behalf. No. So when you paid out 125, that's your first rung of background check. 125. Now you're gonna get $30 to get your license material, your Excel course, because you're gonna have to get your license. You cannot do this business without a license. This is financial services, which is highly regulated. Once you pass your license, that's when all the other fees come in, which is about $700 to $800 depending on the state you're in. I'm in New York, so I think New York is probably like the highest, right? So $500 to $800 depending on the state. That's the investment that you're gonna make. And your first month of you getting that license and register, you make it right back in your first month with families that you start helping with your license. And we have a saying here, when you get your license, it's a license to print money. Mickey, if you want to make $10,000 this month, I can't stop you. Nobody can stop you. If you want to set a goal, hey, I want to make 20 grand this month, you can do it. It just means you're going to work and help in a lot of families. There is no cap on our income. There is no cap. Unlike a job, if you're only working for $60,000 a year, then that's it. You can work as hard as you want. You're still gonna get $60,000 a year. WFG, I can make 20 grand this month. I can make 40 grand this month. I can make 60 grand this month. I can make 10 grand this month. It's whatever I want to make. There is no cap on your income, right? What about the time? Well, if you were gonna take time to go do a part-time job, maybe 10 to 20 hours a week, that's the same 10 to 20 hours a week you could put into this business and make way more money with flexibility, staying in your house like me, zooming and booming, helping clients all over the US and Canada. So we like to tell people on average 10 hours minimum, but once you start making money, you can put in as much or as little. It's on you. There's no cap on your income. For me, I work all day, all night because I love what I do. I love helping families, and the money is good. So why would I limit myself, right? Is there a need? Of course there's a need. We just talked about the needs up here. 68% of Americans are not on track to retire. 60% of people are gonna get diagnosed with an illness. 64, like there is a need. People don't know how money works. They all think I'm good. You might be good, but you could be better, right? You might be good, but you just could be a little better. Do you have long-term care? You're like, what? Do you have living benefits? What? What's that? Uh-huh. And you said you're good? You said you're good and you don't even know what those things are? Okay, do you have any tax-free vehicle besides your Roth? Yeah, I have a Roth. Okay, well, you know your Roth, you could only put $6,500. Like, what if you have more than $6,500? Where are you going to put it? I didn't think about it. Well, you thought you could, right? People don't know what they don't know. So there is a need for financial education, teaching people about money, and because we have our license, we can help them. And then, knowledge. Honey, you ain't need no knowledge to do this business. You ain't got to come here with a PhD, none of that stuff. You ain't got to be no mathematician. You could even be terrible with your own finance. There is no requirement that says you have to be good with finance. You don't have to know nothing. My nephew turned 18, I signed him up. That's another reason why I love WQ. Tons of knowledge, tons of learning. What about risk of that? Wow, this business sounds too good to be true. There must be a risk. There must be some scam, or there must be something you're not telling us. Well, the risk is you not betting on yourself. Because this business has no risk. You're learning about money, you're bettering your own finance, and when you get the license, you help people. Even if you don't get a license, you're gonna know what to do with your own money. Even if you don't get a license. Because guys, would you believe when I started this business, I signed up just to learn. I signed up to learn about money and fix my own money. And after attending these webinars, well, back then we used to have workshops, in-person workshops. After attending the workshop, like the 7th or 6th workshop, I'm like, oh my God, like I don't even know this and I'm a professor. And I'm out here on social media talking about saving money, and I had no knowledge of compound interest and tax deferred and taxes, and like I'm telling people save your money in the bank. I'm telling people open a CD. I'm telling people save money in an IRA. And don't get me wrong, that's good, but your money will never double in the bank. Because I didn't know Rule of 72. I didn't know compound interest. I'm telling people, get a high interest account CD. Did I know that 72 divided by 4 is how many years for that money to double, and you're still gonna have to pay tax? No. I was telling people, hey, open an IRA and put your money in there. Was I also telling these people, you're gonna lose money when the stock market go down? Was I also telling these people, well, you don't have to pay a lot of taxes too? Was I telling them? No. So it hit me like a ton of it. Oh my God, like all these people I told do XYZ. I mean, it's good information, but this is better. This is way better. So for me, once I learned it, I was like, I gotta share this knowledge. I can't be selfish and just keep it to myself and my family. Like, no. I can teach it, share it, and make a living. Let's go. Sign me up. I signed up without even thinking about the business. I was just thinking about myself. But then once I learned and I kept going on the workshops, it's amazing. So, we know that we do good for people. Let's talk about the money. When everybody starts with us, you are a training associate. This is the ground. This is the entry level. This is your starting point. But your goal is not to stay here. Your goal is to move all the way up to senior marketing director. All the way up to senior marketing director. Because you're going to be doing the same type of work. So if you help somebody save $500 in a strategy, as a training associate with your license, you're only making $1,800. But all the way up as a senior marketing director, like I am, my same time, same person saving $500, now I'm gonna make $4,800. So you see why I work all the time? You see why I work all the time? You see why I love this business? You see why I can work until 4 in the morning? Because I'm helping them and I'm making good money. So as a training associate, that's your entry level. You want to make sure that you scoot over to associate in your first 30 days. And we have a system called 4x4. We get you promoted to associate in your first 30 days, which is 4x4, 4 weeks, right? You get promoted to an associate. So by the time you're licensed, you would have seen some client interaction. You would have sat on a couple of meetings. You would have learned. And you're licensed, you're an associate. That's a 50% increase, plus you had field training, plus you saw this stuff live. Because that's another thing that got me going. When I started this business and I saw how it was good for me, and I started my field training with my trainer, and I was seeing how things are really bad with people, I said, oh my God, I gotta talk to everybody. I was so excited to tell everybody about this business, or everybody about, girl, you gotta save money in this thing called IUL. It's tax free. You ain't losing no money. Like, oh my God, you put your money in the bank, that's not good. Like, I was so excited guess what? Not everybody's gonna save 500. The beauty with our business is something for everybody budget. You only want to save 50? Save 50. Start somewhere. Little money goes to big money. Start somewhere and increase. I tell all of my clients, if you get an IUL, don't you ever tell me you're gonna stick at that amount. If you started with 100, increase it. My nieces and nephews all have IUL saving $100. Every year for their birthday, I put money in their account and I say, hey, you're a year older, I want you to increase it. Can you do $20 more? Can you do $50 more? Because they're still living with their parents. Bro, you ain't got no bills. Your only bill is your car insurance and your phone. You living home for free. You can't afford to bump it up. They're like, okay, auntie, okay, and they do it. And I'm like, don't tell me you're doing it and you don't do it, because you know I'm going to log in. I'm going to log in, I'm going to see your account, right? So they can't get away from me, but it's for their best, right? Because I know when they're in their 30s and they're ready to buy a house, and they say, hey, auntie, can you help me with the down payment? I'm going to be like, you remember that stuff I had you open when you were 18? Let's log in and see how much you got, right? And whatever you got, I'll put the difference if you still need more. Shit, nobody did this for me, people. Nobody did this to me. My parents didn't help me buy my first house. My parents didn't help me pay for NYU. My parents didn't help me to go to St. Francis because they did not know. They did not know. They did good, but they did not know of these other strategies. Now that I know it, I cannot shut up, right? And then you can move up to marketing director. Marketing director, you are a junior broker. That means you have minimum 2 licensed agents. You building your franchise. You building your agency. You moving up, right? Now you a senior marketing director. You are the big girls. You are the big guys, right? You got 10 licensed minimum. You building a big ass agency. You building a franchise, and you just all the way to the top. And here's why you want to be a senior marketing director. Because our company just announced at our convention that senior marketing directors and above will be getting stock options. Is your job giving you stock options for free? For free? Is your job giving you stock options for free? Well, WFG's just launched it at our convention. We knew about it like late last year, but they officially rolled it out at the convention. So what does this mean? $15,000 in free stock options. Right now, the Aegon stock is about, I think they said about $40, right? So whatever it is, just do the math, because they did the math with us. This might be too high level for some of you, so forget the math. I'm just going to say, whatever the stock option is, right? $40 a share, they're giving us $15,000. It's free money. And whatever the stock grows to is also free money. So we did the math. We had an emergency training meeting. In 10 years, this is why I'm not going anywhere. In 10 years, just off of the stock options program alone, we are multi-millionaire, honey. Just off of the stock. Just off of the stock options alone, free money, but you're not going to get it if you're not SMD, and it's not every SMD either, right? You gotta have your numbers up. You gotta have your numbers up. So you guys are going to see me doing a lot of webinars. You guys are going to see me helping a lot of people, because the more people I help, the bigger my agency, and it unlocks my level to get those free stocks every single year. So when they showed us the number, right, and you're part of that qualification that's going to get that $15,000, when they showed us the number, and these were numbers that are very, very conservative, in 10 years, just off of the stock options, we are millionaires, multi-millionaires. Is this a good company or what? Of course, I'm not going to ask you, I'm telling you it's good, right? So now when you're SMD, my caliber and above, your personal income, if somebody is saving $1,000, $1,000 is nothing. I could have 4 clients save $250 a piece. There goes $1,000. I could have 4 $10,000, my personal income. But now I have agents, right? And let's say 5 of those agents are also doing the same thing. I'm going to override, this is profit, another 21,000. So think of this like real estate agents. Real estate, the broker for the agency, he has 5 real estate agents. Those 5 real estate agents, they go out, they rent a house, they sell a house. The broker is getting a piece of that cut, even though he never sold that house or never went out to do that transaction. Same concept here. It's 21,000. I may help a teammate, or that teammate is on fire. They know what they're doing. They go out, they're working their business, they're making money. But because I brought them on board, because I got them going, because I trained them, and now they're independent, the company said, you know what? Good job, Odetta. You brought these people in. You got them started. 21,000. So my total monthly income is 31,000. Guys, some of you that have been on our Monday training, Raja Dalawal, and those of you that are guests, you may not know these names, but Raja Dalawal makes $8 million a year. $8 million a year. That's who teaches us. That's who coaches us. That's who trains us. In this business, the people at the top, when they help us, they're also going to make more money. So they're not going to be selfish to keep that information to themselves, because we rise together. So his son, I don't know if some of you, if you're on, maybe you can put it in the chat. Raja Dalawal's son is about 24 years old. Can somebody put in the chat, if you were on that training, how much did that guy made last month? Put in the chat. Does anybody remember? Put it in the chat. How much did he make? 24-year-old. Nobody remember? Nobody knows? Okay. Vita, Richard, you guys were on that call. Do you remember? Nobody remember?
No, it escapes me now. Hold on.
Okay. Okay, so forget WFG. The average 24-year-old, no, not 24 million. The dad is making 8 million per year. No, not 24 million. No. The dad makes 8 million a year. But his 24-year-old son, his highest cash flow last month was over 100,000. 24-year-old in WG, 100,000. Okay? But his dad is Raja Dalawal, making 8 million a year. So
That's right.
for the people who are like, well, I don't know if my kids want to do this, guess what? When that guy spoke, one of the questions they asked him was, how come you listen to your dad? You know, because most 24-year-olds don't want to listen to their parents. You know what he said? I see what this business has done for my family. We remember the days when we were not living the way we're living right now. It's inevitable. If you see your life has changed, why won't you listen to your dad? Why won't you run the business? Why won't you do 4x4? Why won't you do power number? Why won't you do magic number? Like your surrounding, your life has changed. Your dad is making 8 million. Why wouldn't you listen to him? Guys, everybody's in the business. The girls' husband, the boys' wives, everybody in the business. And I love it, right? They're keeping the money in the family. So when I go to conventions and I see these people on stage, the convention that we just came from, one of the lady, she recruited her son. No, I think the son recruited the mom. Something it was with the son and the mom. But the joke was, the reason why he recruited his mom is so that he don't have to be her retirement. Because now her retirement income is the business. So the son don't have to give money because her business is her retirement income. Man, guys, anytime WG keeps a convention, WG convention is not only for us agents. WG convention is for everybody. You ain't gotta be in this business. You ain't gotta wanna be doing the business. Just come and get exposed. Stretch your vision. See something different. And see the endless possibility of how average people are doing miraculous things and changing their life, right? So life is all about choices, right? You hear this webinar and you're gonna hear it every day for the rest of July, even on Sunday, because we just added Sunday, 8 p.m. So now that you heard it all, 2 nights in a row, don't be selfish. Invite somebody to come and get this knowledge. Don't keep it to yourself. All you gotta do is call your friends, call your sister, call your brother, call your cousin, call your best friend, call your girlfriend and say, hey, I just came off of a dynamite webinar. It's nothing like I've ever heard before. And I don't even know all the ins and outs, but this is something that you need to come listen to tomorrow. They're gonna be back on again tomorrow, Wednesday at 7:30. Just come and check it out. And worst case scenario, you could, now you know better, right? Something is gonna spark. Either you're gonna realize, oh shit, I don't have long-term care. I don't have living benefits. Yeah, I got all my money in tax buckets. Yeah, I got all my money in IRAs where I'm gonna lose. You know what? I really do need to make extra income, right? And wow, I can make all this money in like, by the way, how much hours do you think we spend on a Zoom with somebody to make this type of income? 2,700. How long would you have to work at your job to make 2,700? Somebody put in the chat. On average, 2,700. How many hours or days or weeks you have to work to make 2,700? Well, I can tell you, it's not 2 hours. It's not 2 hours. It's not 3 hours. WFG, you spend about 2-3 hours on a Zoom, professional on the top, party at the bottom. You can do that too, because we can see it, right? 2,700, 2-3 hours zooming and booming. We have a saying in WGB, or zooming and booming. All day, every day, zooming and booming. My day starts tomorrow at 10 a.m. I met a guy at the airport in Vegas, zooming and booming. I'm signing him up tomorrow. I was in my Uber driver going to the airport. She's just like me. We zooming and booming tomorrow at 6 o'clock. I'm zooming and booming in my house. And I'm saving money because I'm not getting dressed. I'm not getting in my car. I'm not buying lunch. I'm saving money and I'm making more money. It's a win-win. I'm saving money and I'm making more money. And I'm helping families. It's an all-around win-win, right? So life is all about choices. You could be like, oh my God, this sounds good. You answer all my questions. You answer all my FAQs. How much it costs? How much time do I got to put in? Is there a need? I ain't got no knowledge. I don't know nothing about finance. Girl, I'm broke. I ain't got no money. My credit is shot. Who cares? Just come aboard and learn. Just come aboard and learn and get the license. And we're not gonna send you out there by yourself. If you go to medical school and you get your PhD, are they gonna send you to go sit with a patient by yourself? No. You're gonna go with a doctor. You're gonna go with an experienced doctor. If you go to law school and you get your law degree, are they going to send you to court to represent a client by yourself? No. Well, same thing here. When you get your license, you're still not going to go on your own and sit with nobody talking whatever you think is right. No. You're going to go with a seasoned SMD, Senior Marketing Director, who's been in here doing whatever you're doing, and you start this business part-time, and you work your way up. And then one day, you kick it to the curb, and you do this 100% like OdettaKing.com, right? So you can start part-time, or you could say, you know what, I don't think I want to do the business. I got a lot going on. My client earlier tonight, she's like, Odetta, I got a lot going on. Between managing these properties, doing my school, doing my business, doing my job, I know this is good, but I can't. And I said, okay, but you have your license. She said, no, I let my license go. I said, okay, you know what? If you know anybody that's interested, please send them my way. That's it. Worst case scenario, you invite somebody to a webinar and they said, Odetta, this is not for me. I don't want to do it. But you know what? I'm interested in being a client and seeing how you could help me with my finance. That's okay too. But always, 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 I'm always going to say, hey, just in case, if you know anyone, now that you see what I do, now that you understand a little bit more what I do, if you can think of anybody or if you know anybody that might be good, that is enthusiastic, that's excited, that is hungry, that is motivated, that wants to make money, that wants to help families, that has a good heart, is faith-driven, send them my way. Give that person a chance. Bless that person, because you never know, they might be praying for an opportunity, because I was praying for an opportunity. And I don't know Angel, but I thank God for Angel. Because of him, myself and my unborn generation is set. He's a stranger. Angel is a stranger to me. I didn't know him. I was teaching at Kingsborough Community College, and he showed up and he said, hey, what do you do besides teaching? We struck up a conversation. He gifted me a book, Saving Your Future. I read it. The rest is history. I was praying for an opportunity. You don't know who's praying for an opportunity. Share the message. Share the good word. Share it with somebody else. You just never know. You just never know. People are struggling financially. You just never know who's looking for a side hustle, who's looking for a job. This is better than a job, people. You're making more money in less time. You're helping people. You're doing something meaningful. A lot of the kids that I put IULs in place, one of them might turn back and be my doctor. One of them might turn back and be my nurse. One of them might turn back and be an attorney. I don't know. I might be in a nursing home in my 80, 90-year-old. And one of the kids that I, sat with their parents and put a strategy in place, they went to law school, they went to medical school because their money was there. And I'm on my dying bed, and then they're going to say, oh my God, you're Odetta King? I remember I saw your name on a policy. My mom opened an IUL when I was 7 years old. To God be the glory. Don't keep this business to yourself. You never know the seeds you're planting today. It's going to blossom. It's going to blossom. So be like me. Become a business owner and a client. Get help with your finance first. Because you can't sell shoes barefoot. Right? You can't sell shoes barefoot. You can't work in a BMW and drive in a Honda. You work in a BMW, you better drive a BMW. You work in a Benz, you better drive a Benz. Okay? You with WFG, you become a client first, learn the product, see it for yourself, and then you go share it. Because you don't want to be, if a client say, well, do you have an IUL? Do you have this? Do you have that? You telling me to get this? Do you have it? Yes, I do. I whip up my LTC, I whip up log into my portal, and I show them my numbers. Yes, I do, right? So, in closing, do not shrink your dreams to fit your income. Increase your income. Because when you have more money, you could do more. You could bless strangers. Don't be selfish and be like, oh my God, I'm just going to have enough for myself. No, it's not about having enough for yourself. It's about having abundance. So you could bless a random stranger on the street, right? So I know we went over because I talk a lot, but thank you guys so much for joining. If you are a guest, please, please, please call the person that invited you and say, hey, I know it's late, but could I set up a one-on-one with Odetta, right? In fact, I'm going to put my link, my booking link in the chat, calendly.com/Odetta/King, right? Reach out to the person that invited you, set up a one-on-one, and let's see interested in becoming a business partner and making money, or you're interested in going the client route and seeing how you could get help with your finance. That's it. It's only two options. We're not selling you anything. You either want to make money or you want to save and grow your money. So, the choice is yours. Whatever you decide, we're here to help you, support you, and let's rise to the top and increase your income to fit your dreams. So we'll see you guys back here tomorrow at 7:30. You don't have to register again. It's the same link. You'll keep getting reminders. And please, please, please share it with someone else. All right? Thank you guys so much. Oh, before I go, does anybody have any questions? No questions? All right. Well, thank you so much, and we'll see you back here 7:30 tomorrow. See you back here 7:30 tomorrow.